Hi, my name is Kyle Godfrey. I'm going to do an analysis on the Heidi Roizen case for Management 6334. So first I want to look at a crucible early on in Heidi's life and how that sort of affected her throughout the course of her career. And then I want to look at the strengths of her network and then relate that to several things throughout Module 5 and the articles we've read there. So first I think it's important to realized that the changing moment in Heidi's life was when her fiance passed away when she was an undergrad, and she made the decision to not be so dependent upon the fate of another person. And I think we can really see this in the way that she built her network and the way she went about doing it. So she understood to me, she understood three things about building a quality network. She understood the value of time. She understood that she needs to gain experience to give herself credibility as an expert. And she knew that she needed to learn more. So in regards to understanding the theme of time throughout the article, she was always focused on giving the most she could give in the shortest amount of time possible, because in the environment that she worked in with high power CEOs and executives, that time was really people's most valuable resource. But at the same time, she wasn't worried about what they could give her in terms of decreasing the time that it was going to take for her to achieve her goals and to build her network. I think it's really important to understand and realize the theme of time and sort of how that relates to her as a giver. And then she was always focused on learning and experiencing, whether that was doing interviews or going back to graduate school, or even when she joined Software Publishers Association, where she ultimately became president. She really used it as a stepping stone to add value and to learn and grow, where she was always focused on building relationships, and she knew that if she could build solid relationships, that she could build a solid network. So there's two areas of there's two things that she really did when she was trying to build relationships. She was focused on performance and consistency. So doing what you can do to help people out, and then being consistent in your actions. And these were also two, major themes that were in the article, as well. Ultimately, I think it comes down to her using this stuff to be an authentic leader, and people knew that she was credible and they could trust her. Just because of who she was as a person, her experience, her network, which she used. I think it's referred to as a constellation. It took on a constellation structure, but she really used A players in her network to give herself time when she needed it. And she was very careful not to overuse other people's time and ask them, too much for help. But she was always able to sort of draw on her network when she needed to, and she knew that she could do that because of the way she went about giving. And I think there's a lot of parallels between David Hornick in Give and Take and Heidi, because they both understand that giving can come at a detriment, but if you give to your network to produce win-win situations where you're not necessarily going to benefit, you're giving because you truly want to help, and you don't have the short-term philosophy of giving the help and then expecting something else in return. You really have a long-term outlook and approach to it. I think that the two are very similar, and they really are authentic in the way that they go about giving. They're truly interested and helping other people, and then letting other people help them, um, and experience what it feels like to give help when when they truly need it, and not overusing their network. So between having a crucible, understanding the value of time, and understanding her needing to learn and experience new things and grow as a person while being the driver, um, her crucible driving her, was really the reason that she was able to be so successful. And that concludes my oral case analysis. Thanks for watching.